Kathleen, thank you very much. Kathleen Koch from Washington. The Bush administration under fire tonight for its refusal to release critical information in the case of imprisoned former Border Patrol agents Ramos and Compean. The two former agents are serving lengthy sentences in prison for shooting an illegal alien drug smuggler who was then given immunity by the Justice Department to testify against them. Last week, a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing led to the call by Senator Dianne Feinstein, Senator John Cornyn, Democrat and Republican, seeking a commutation of their sentence by President Bush. Now, a public interest group, Judicial Watch, is suing the federal government. Judicial Watch demanding to know the role that the government of Mexico played in the prosecution of the two agents. Lisa Sylvester reports.
Judicial Watch filed Freedom of Information requests in January with 3 federal agencies: Justice, the Homeland Security, and State Departments. The public watchdog group wants to know why the government went through extraordinary lengths to track down and give drug smuggler Aldrade Davila blanket immunity. Who in the U.S. government authorized that immunity? And what role, if any, did the Mexican government play in the prosecution of the border agents?
We had monitored the case of the prosecution of the agents Ramos and Compean, and we really felt compelled that there was more to the story, that not everything was getting out into the public. And we did some analysis and determined that there had to be records that existed of communications between our government and the Mexican government concerning the prosecution itself, any deals that were brokered with the drug smuggler.
When the federal agencies failed to produce those documents, Judicial Watch sued. U.S. District Judge Richard Leon heard both sides. A government lawyer says the Department of Justice is not required to produce the documents, citing the privacy of Davila. Quote, "We don't believe there's sufficient public interest that outweighs privacy interests." But critics, including congressional lawmakers and the National Border Patrol Council, accuse the federal government of stonewalling and double talk.
The president and this administration have been resisting all efforts to get to the bottom of this. What are they trying to hide? There's a lot there.
CNN requested interviews with 3 agencies. They declined our request, citing their policies not to discuss pending litigation.
Now, the judge has given both sides until Friday to submit any additional information on the case, and he is expected to make a decision soon thereafter. Now, interestingly, while the Justice Department is citing privacy concerns, State Department is taking a completely different approach. Late Friday, they submitted 6 pages of documents. They said they believe they have met their FOIA obligation. Judicial Watch took a look at those documents and said it answered none of their questions. They say it was a bunch of baloney. Lou?
A bunch of baloney. It has been the attitude of this government, the arrogance of this government, from the U.S. Attorney's prosecution of these 2 agents to the point that it's just inexplicable why this administration has gone to such lengths to carry out such an outrageous miscarriage of justice. How soon do we believe that there will be a ruling in this case and that the absurd response, the privacy interest of a confessed drug dealer who is not a citizen of the United States, trumps the public's right to know? Do you think, I mean, my God, I cannot imagine any federal judge holding with that reasoning.
That's exactly the argument that the Justice Department is making. They said that because he testified in a criminal proceeding, that he essentially has protection under the privacy clause of the FOIA request. And as for when we expect the ruling, it's anybody's guess at this point when the judge will decide. It could be a week or 2, or it could be a month or 2, Lou.
Lisa, thank you very much. Lisa Sylvester from Washington. Now, tonight's poll: do you agree with Judicial Watch that there's more to this story than the U.S. government has told us in the case of Ramos and Compean? Yes or no? Please cast your vote at LouDobbs.com. That's our question of the night. We'll have the results for you here later in the broadcast. We'll also have the results of our weekend poll, where we asked, do you believe America needs to declare a